Ahoy mateys and matesses! My last video, which featured sort of softcore hentai, has become age restricted. But it's still monetized, so I've come to a realization. Ladies and gentlemen, MajorKill can say or do whatever he wants in his videos and still be monetized. I feel so liberated right now. I can say literally anything and still be good. It's time to flex my wings and fly. Cartman, help me out.
Fuck, shit, cock, ass, titties, butter, bitch, mud, pussy, cock, butthole, Barbra Streisand.
Wait, fuck, I say that shit anyways. Community guidelines, lol. In this video, I'll explain the entirety of the lore of the Lizardmen, including notable characters and events, all the way up until the end times, which, wasn't exactly kind to our scaly friends. And another thing before I kick off this shit show, as I've said many times, MajorKill reads all comments, and those comments don't like my new intro, which I spent fucking ages making, so fuck it. Deleting that shit-ass intro and replacing it with something else in the future that I have not yet decided on. Take that, haters. Anyway, let's get this cold-blooded fest on the way as we deep dive into the fuckery of a great plan that is the Lizardmen faction and lore. Long ago, when the Warhammer fantasy world was just a rocky piece of shit, an ancient intergalactic race called the Old Ones came down and decided it would be a great place to set up shop and continue working on their great plan. What was their great plan, I hear you ask? Well, no one really knows. They terraformed the world, pulling it closer to the sun and shifted the tectonic plates to make life possible in their image. They then directly created the Lizardmen race as their servants and warriors. Due to Games Workshop's extremely racist tendencies, the Lizardmen race was split into 4 sub-races. We have the Dinosaurs, who are primitive monster creatures that act as the Lizardmen's muscle in battle. A very notable dino is Grimlock, the personal T-Rex taxi to Kroak. Going up the hierarchy, we then have the Skinks, who are small, intelligent, sneaky Jews that act as the slaves/servants to the upper hierarchy. However, due to their small, nimble size, they can also be used as spies and assassins in war as well, and some of them can actually use magic, or just be shit-tier soldiers. The most badass of these midgets is Oxyotl, who was able to survive in the Chaos Realms for thousands of years before returning back to the old world, and he maintained his sanity. Bumping up another spot in this racially segregated society, we have the Chads of the Lizardmen, the Saurus. These buffed up gym junkies made up the main force of the Lizardmen army. Despite mostly being barely cannon fodder, there are some among the Saurus that are beyond overpowered. Notable examples include Gorok, the albino cunt, who due to his white superiority is unkillable, and Kroak, who wields multiple weapons that were forged by the Old Ones themselves. So naturally, a big killing machine with advanced alien weaponry is going to be one tough motherfucker. Did I also mention that he rides a massive T-Rex looking motherfucker? And finally, we have the supreme master race, superior in every way, the Slan, who were directly created by the Old Ones in their own image to be leaders of the Lizardmen race. Among the Smans most powerful, we have Lord Mazdamundi, who once got bored and noticed that the tectonic plates were slightly off, so he rearranged them with his mind, accidentally destroying the greatest dwarven empire in the process. If Mazda doesn't sound strong enough, then try the ironically named Lord Kroak, who almost single-handedly saved the entire world by racking up a 7-digit kill count during the First Great War against Chaos. As the world continued to form, the Old Ones created or nurtured other races that would act as an ally to the Lizardmen. These races include the High Elves, Men, and Dwarves, with a few other races like the Ogres and Giants thrown in for lols. The purpose of creating these races was to genocide all other races that were not part of the Great Plan, or had been corrupted by Chaos. Fuck me, these Old Ones are really these guys are like cotton plantation owners by this point, talk about prejudice against other races. Eventually things went to absolute shit. Whether by the power of chaos or the foolishness of the Old Ones, the teleporters that have been created at each pole of the world collapsed on themselves and created a means for chaos to flood into the world, while also simultaneously locking the Old Ones out. Hence began the biggest war the world had ever seen. Each race was isolated from one another and fought to the last. Legendary heroes rose and fell during this great catastrophe. However, the combined effort of the elves and the lizardmen were able to create the giant vortex and banish the demons from the world, saving it but leaving it forever scarred. The lizardmen and the rest of the world rebuilt their civilizations, but the great catastrophe made everyone even more racist, so began a long period of isolation. The main contact that the lizardmen got from the outside were the dark elves who kept raiding them. Here's a fun fact. Lord Mazdamundi got so sick and tired of the dark elf raids that he created a mountain range as a divider between the two races. Not only that, the mountain range is sentient and deliberately moves in order to try and crush and kill any dark elves who are attempting to cross it. Pretty neat. Now here's the real problem. The old ones were guiding the lizardmen in fulfilling the great plan, but they never told the lizardmen what the great plan actually was in detail, and all the slan that were able to interpret the plan correctly are now dead. So the lizardmen are a bit directionless. This plus the fact that they are under almost constant attack by Clan Pestilence from the Skaven mean that our lizzies just can't get shit done. The lizardmen were almost destroyed once by an all-out attack by Clan Pestilence, as they were not adept at fighting the Skaven and were also not prepared for the intense bio and chemical warfare that the Skaven, especially Clan Pestilence, loved. All would have been lost were it not for the emergence of a cult of Skinks who began praying to a new god, the Serpent God Sotek. This was super strange, as Skinks had been bred purely to obey and serve, so this sudden push of free will definitely concerned the slan. But what was truly amazing was that all the praying had worked. On the cusp of defeat, suddenly a metric fuckton of serpents, led by the gigantic god Sotek himself, proceeded to snake rape all the invading Skaven, forcing them to abandon all of Lustria. It's said that Sotek even confronted the Horned Rat himself and bit him on the nutsack. Although happy to be alive, the slan were confused as fuck, as there had never been an old one called Sotek. It is unknown if Sotek was a secret old one, a gigantic monster that suddenly had an appetite for Muslims, or if it was so many skinks wanking off to him that he actually manifested in the warp and then came into the world. The slan had grown weak in this time, and would rather sleep and meditate than sort out their own shit. So running the Lizardmen society fell to the highly autistic skink priests, who despite being able to restore most of the temple cities, had forgotten most of the old one's teachings, and have regressed into a primitive state, with only Mazdamundi and Lord Kroak's relic priest form and a few unkillable Saurus warriors holding their entire civilization together. Out of respect for the Lizardmen faction, I will not be talking about what happens to them during the end times, and this is pretty fucking lame. In short though, Games Workshop had no fucking clue to how to kill off the Lizardmen, because of how powerful they were. Like, how do you kill off Lord Mazdamundi when he can literally move the planet's structure with his mind? So they decided to make the Skaven discover nuclear weaponry and blow up the Chaos Moon, forcing Mazdamundi to give up his life to prevent it from blowing up the world. The subsequent bits of moon fell on Lustria, killing all the other main characters, save Kroak. How did Kroak survive, I hear you ask? Well, he boarded a spaceship and flew into the stars. Yes. Because now there are spaceships and nukes flying around everywhere in a fantasy setting. Fucking hell. That is it for my Aussie summary of the Lizardmen lore, guys. I've covered everything you need to know about them for a solid understanding to form. If you guys want me to cover an individual character of the Lizardmen, then spam the comments with them, and I just might. I have some awesome things coming up as the Patreon I've set up has generated just enough money for a full animated battle between two fan favorite characters. Remember, the more money you guys send, the more art and animations I can commission for the Warhammer community. Even just $1 goes a long way. If you want to see the kind of stuff the money buys, then check out them age-restricted titties in the previous video. For memes and games, join my Discord. Link will be in the description. Cheers for listening to my bullshit, guys. Peace.